So one of the things that's been fun this past year is getting to see both the incubators themselves that we've had, twice monthly, and the research that's coming out of that, as well as getting more of a sense of the history of the incubator series as a whole. And it was fantastic a few months ago when Janet emailed saying, oh my goodness, we're going to hit the 100th incubator this year, and we need to make sure we commemorate that and celebrate that and everything that we've put into this community. And I think it's true as we talk about what the incubator means to all of us, what we've enjoyed about it, and what we hope to see going forward. And hopefully today we can highlight some of that. One of the things that I did was first just taking the titles of all of the previous incubator talks and doing our little word cloud, highly statistically significant and all that. But I think it's interesting to see what is popping out, right? And you see here positive, work, organizational, identity, leadership, energy, relationships, social. So all of these words are coming out quite a bit. And then you have all of these other aspects that are, smaller, maybe talked about once or twice, and that merge across this area. So we see some common themes, but a lot of diversity and interdisciplinarity around how are these incubators used? What are people talking about? And all of the different areas that the incubators have served to help move research forward. The other thing that I did was I just sent out a brief survey to everyone who's presented in the past saying, what are some of your memories of the incubators? What are some of the things that you liked best? And I think it's fascinating to now step through and see what are the themes that have emerged from some of that. And I think I found it very energizing to look through these responses and see how much this series has meant to a variety of different researchers across this campus, as well as alums and visiting scholars who have come and participated. And I think you guys will be excited to seeing the themes that have emerged. So first, as we've heard many times now, it's a safe space. So as Dave Mayer mentioned, it's a wonderful resource for sharing newly formed, as well as more developed, ideas in a safe space. And as Chris referred to before, that's not always what happens in academic settings, and it's really quite beneficial to be able to talk about early stage ideas and have people work through that with you. Chris, I think we're going to highlight a lot of people in the room today. Chris was talking about how great it was to be able to get wonderful feedback from a great group of scholars without the pressure of a more formalized setting. It was also nice that there's this positive atmosphere where you can talk without fear of someone trying to catch you. And instead, it's being a situation where everyone's trying to help you move your research forward and really develop the ideas and understand what connections might occur. And I love the ending of this. I left it feeling really good about things and with a newfound energy for the project. And I think that that's something that you sense not only from the people who present at the incubators, but also the people who participate in the incubators, because it is such a great group and energizing around all of these different research activities going on at the university. Another theme was the idea of how it was a place to develop new ideas. So here, Kim again bringing back this half-baked brown bag ideas, that this is where it started, where it was the idea of having a place where you could come with new ideas and talk to other people about these ideas, findings, dreams, and progress. So it wasn't a place where you needed to be presenting your results. It wasn't a place where you needed to be standing up to referees around how they see it, but it was this place to talk about, where do you hope to go with this? What are you looking for? What would you love to be doing 2 years from now with this project? And getting the guidance and insight from such a wonderful community around that research. Ned follows up, or not follows up, but similarly highlights the fact that it's this amazing source of inspiration, encouragement, and constructive suggestions. Unlike other sessions, they're developmental rather than being evaluative. And so there's a comfort in presenting this early stage work and getting feedback at a point when it is so critical and helpful. It really is also motivational to get ideas ready to present, and then the feedback is helpful and constructive. And so the themes here, I think, of, we're representing positive organizational scholarship through this incubator series, with having people leaving feeling better about the work they're doing and excited and energized about it. I think another critical aspect is the idea of using the incubator series to mentor junior researchers. And this ties in with developing new ideas, of course, and providing a safe space. But here's a place where junior researchers are comfortable talking about early stage ideas, getting feedback at that stage when you might feel the most vulnerable, as Laura did, and feeling safe in getting that advice and starting to move forward. So as Laura mentioned, it's the first time presenting any dissertation work and dissertation ideas. And in pushing the dissertation forward at such an early stage, it became an inflection point for her research. So this time when it was able to take off from where the trajectory had been before and really help to improve and develop that. The conversations were supportive and developmental. It was encouraging, especially how vulnerable I felt at that time. And so I think it's really incredible to foster a space where people, when they are feeling vulnerable about research, are open and comfortable coming and talking about not only what their ideas are, but also what their concerns are, what they're struggling with, what they're asking for help around, and recognizing that they can safely get that feedback and move forward. Samir touched on similar ideas when he was talking about how the POS Incubator is the most developmental venue for sharing research at Michigan, and how over the years it went from the place where he gave his first research talk to helping build confidence in other venues as well. POS holds a special place in my heart. And I think that's something that we can all say as we think about what this venue has been and what it's brought to us. Anyway, okay. The next piece is interdisciplinary. And here we see that while a lot of people are from management organizations, the incubator series has really tried to extend beyond that. We've had a number of people talk about how the interdisciplinary nature helps them to see natural connections between their work and work in other domains, and how those domains might inform each other. In this past year, we did a session with marketing to try to understand where positive scholarship might help to inform some of the marketing research and vice versa, and making those ties across the interdisciplinary aspect, not only of Ross, but the university, is something that the incubator series has started and I hope will continue. Lisa, who's a psychology student, was talking about the variety of ideas and critiques and how that diversity helped her to develop her research further. Finally, fun. I just had to include this quote because it was so perfect. But the idea that this really is a place where people come and enjoy each other. As many people mentioned, you like to come early and talk to people. You stay late catching up. But my favorite is Jane's quote about one of the earlier incubators when Barb and Michael were trying out some new experiment and asking people to spit into cups. And apparently that might not be Jane's key strength, but we are grateful for all of her other strengths that she has brought to the incubator series. And finally, it's a community. And I think that that's what's shown across all of these quotes, across why we're excited to celebrate 100 sessions and what we're looking forward in the future. So Katie is an alum talking about how she looks back at the incubator series as one of the best parts of Michigan, and how coming in new, she was initially intimidated and uncertain by the scholars who do participate in this series. And it is one of those things, as someone who didn't grow up at Michigan, you come in with all of the names of papers that you've read and you're supposed to present your work, and yet everyone is lovely and constructive and positive and generative, and I think that's something that the incubator series really uniquely fosters. And it's been incredible to be a small part of it and to get a view of what these previous 99 sessions have brought us. And I think exciting to think about what the next 100 incubators will bring. And with that, I'm going to pass off to